Today we begin taking a look back at several big stories or key trends of the year. In 2019, several area cities took steps to reduce young people's access to tobacco. Reporter Shannon Slatton has a look at the changes in tobacco regulation around the Northwest Metro.
I'm old enough to remember bringing a note to the convenience store for my mother to buy her cigarettes. Old enough to remember buying a pack of cigarettes from a vending machine for 75 cents.
In November of 2018, Brooklyn Center took on tobacco.
My mother has undergone triple bypass, lung cancer, and she's still smoking. So this is really personal for me, and I'm really proud of what we have done.
Stories like that abounded at the meeting where the City Council voted to restrict tobacco sales to people 21 and older. That ordinance went into effect just before Christmas last year, and on the first day of 2020, a second restriction on tobacco sales will go live in Brooklyn Center.
And they said, it doesn't make sense for the city to sell tobacco anymore at their municipal liquor stores. Do you think we could just ask them to stop?
2 students were honored in November for spearheading a campaign to stop tobacco sales in city-owned liquor stores. Robbinsdale also made changes to their tobacco ordinance. In the spring, the city restricted sales to ages 21 and over, and in the fall voted to ban tobacco sales from its municipal liquor store. Brooklyn Center and Robbinsdale will lose about $6,000 and $10,000 a year respectively in tobacco revenue, but advocates say the public health benefits are worth it. Meanwhile, Golden Valley went a step further and enacted some of the strictest regulations in the state. Their ordinance raises the tobacco sales age to 21, but it also bans flavored tobacco and tobacco sales at pharmacies, while raising the minimum price for tobacco products by $1.
This initiative on the part of the City Council is not spurred on by any displeasure with our business community or their ability to make a living. This is a public health issue, and we are elected officials who took an oath of office to protect the public good.
Golden Valley's ordinance goes into effect on New Year's Day. Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Now, New Hope may be next. The city is considering similar regulations in the new year. They've been researching, making changes to the ordinance, and the process may begin with a public hearing in the first part of 2020. Oversalting driveways and sidewalks is a common problem, according to the city of New Hope. If it's not reduced, it can contaminate water bodies. New Hope is promoting the Salt Smart program to hopefully lessen the amount of salt residents and businesses use. City staff say if you see clumps of salt sitting in driveways, there's probably too much. Melting snow and ice can carry salt into storm drains that flow into streams and rivers.
1 teaspoon of salt permanently can contaminate 5 gallons of water. So it takes a very small amount of salt to go a very long way. Once there's salt in a water body, it's nearly impossible to get that out without a very expensive process to treat the water on the tail end.
Tips to reduce salt use include sweeping and reusing salt. You could also use a de-icer. Shovel early and often, and make sure to use salt sparingly. The new year is just around the corner, and 2020 is shaping up to be a big year for Theodore Wirth Park in Golden Valley. This March, the park will play host to the fastest skiers in the world at the Cross Country World Cup. Delane Cleveland has more from Golden Valley. Delane?
Hi, I am at Theodore Wirth Park right now. Always a busy place, everyone wanting to get their cross-country skiing in, especially this time of year with school out. But this is going to be an even busier place here in the coming months. Theodore Wirth Park will host the Cross Country World Cup. Joining me now to talk more about that is Heidi Letterman of the Loppet Foundation. So Heidi, how excited are you for everything that's going to be happening here?
As a cross-country skier, I'm incredibly excited because this will be the first time in almost 20 years that the United States has hosted the cross-country skiing World Cup. However, as an employee of the Loppet Foundation, I'm also really excited for the global opportunity that this will give us to talk about our mission to create a shared passion for the outdoors, especially with the underserved youth in this community.
Very nice. Now, Can you say, would this be probably the biggest year ever, you think, coming up here for Theodore Wirth Park and the Loppet Foundation?
Yeah, the Loppet Foundation has done so much. You know, we've taken on projects with the Super Bowl last 2 years, and we've had the Masters World Cup here, Junior Nationals, but this is definitely our biggest undertaking. This is something that is just, you know, we need all hands on deck in this situation, and we've had a lot of really great volunteers helping out, which has been really incredible.
Yeah, I'll touch on that in a second, but what do you want the public to know about the events that are going to be coming up here? It's in March, correct?
It is. It's March 14th to the 17th, and it's going to be a really great opportunity, not just for cross-country skiers, but for anybody who's interested in creating this amazing experience and just being a part of this bold north attitude that we have towards winter here in the Twin Cities. We're going to have food trucks, live music, beer, all sorts of participant events and spectator events too, and so it'll be really amazing, and it's for anyone. March 17th is when the actual World Cup is happening, and tickets for that are at mnworldcup.com.
Now, a second ago, you were talking about volunteers, and it looks like you're looking for people to help out with this event. What do you want people to know about that?
We're looking for a lot of people. Like I said, this is going to take a lot of hands to make this work, and so if you're interested in volunteering at all, we'd love for you to check out mnworldcup.com, and we have all of our volunteer opportunities listed there. There's a little questionnaire people can fill out, and you know, just spread the word, get your friends, and buy your tickets at mnworldcup.com also.
All right, Heidi Letterman from the Loppet Foundation, thank you so much for joining us. Reporting in Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News. Back to you.
For more information on these stories and more, head to our website, ccxmedia.org. Have a good day.
After a rough start, the Wayzata boys hockey team is finding its groove. The Trojans are hosting the new Tradition at the Pick tournament in conjunction with the Tradition at the Park tournament at St. Louis Park Rec Center. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
The Tradition in the Park Holiday Hockey Classic is getting bigger this season with Tradition at the Pick. 8 additional teams will skate at Plymouth Ice Center, including Wayzata.
I think John was just doing a good job of, kind of getting teams from around here that don't, want to travel too much. And, what we're looking for over the holiday, obviously, is, knowing who we're going to play, high quality opponents every single time. He just approached me and said that if, we're thinking about expanding it to 16 teams, and Plymouth has shown, the interest in hosting one of the sides, and that was no-brainer for me, obviously, being able to play here with, our home rink. And when he told me who the lineup was, I was pretty happy about that. Some teams that we don't play regularly.
I think it's really great that we have it here because we love playing here, and I think we're a lot better playing here. And it's just great. We get to play teams that we haven't played a lot, like Blaine and them. They're good, skilled teams with skilled players, and I think that's going to be a good test for us.
Wayzata is a loose group that likes to have fun, and the Trojans' resilience after starting the season with 3 losses is a testament to the relationships of players and coaches. The boys never doubted their talent and never lost faith in each other.
I would say the strength of this team is that we're really good teammates. We really all play well together. The connection between us off and on the ice is great, and it translates to game time. Every practice we battle against each other 100%, and it really gets us ready for all the games.
After the 0-3 start, we kind of just, I feel like we got closer in a way, and kind of just after that first win, we just kept going, and we haven't stopped since.
Wayzata will ride a 6-game unbeaten streak into its first game of the holiday tournament against 4th-ranked Hill Murray on Thursday night. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
The Trojans did beat Hill Murray in overtime. Well, Benilde St. Margaret's is the host team for the Tradition in the Park portion of that tournament, and Benilde faced Holy Family in round 1. Benilde leads 1-0 after 1, but the fire draw even early in the second as Trey Faco sets up Lucas Jorgensen for the goal. Then Tyler Heisey splits the Benilde defense and walks in. His shot is stopped, but Jacob McPartland puts the rebound away, and it's 2-1 Holy Family. But the Red Knights tie at 37 seconds later. Charlie Warner's shot finds its way in, and it's 2-2. Then early in the third, Benilde pulls ahead again as Nate Schweitzer sets up Adam Marshall for the one-timer, and the Red Knights go on to win this one 4-3. While ice conditions vary from lake to lake, most are at least safe to walk on if you want to go out ice fishing. It's time to fire up our ice fishing tip series again with Hall of Fame angler Terry Tuma. In this first tip of the season, Terry talks about the mental approach to take when out on the lake.
Welcome to another series of ice fishing tips right here on CCX Media. We're going to cover a lot of new areas, if you would, and answer several questions that have been asked at seminars. First of all, I'm going to call this the mind game tip, meaning motivation. Are you motivated in going out there? Do you have the right equipment with you? Is your mindset that I'm going to catch fish today? That's a big factor. The other is experience. Take that experience that you have had in the past and apply it to today's fishing trip. Knowledge. Every time we go out, we should always learn something. In fact, I even will write down the tip that I feel that's going to be well worth bringing it forward to the public after about 2 or 3 years. Very important. Always try to learn something. And the other is patience. Patience is a big factor in catching fish. And then, of course, your plan of attack is another. How am I going to approach this body of water? Just really try to relate to this mind game. You can go on and on with the mind game, but there's a lot more to fishing than just fishing lures and rods and reels and line.